New at 10, with more than 100 homicides in St. Louis this year, News 4 goes one-on-one with Mayor Francis Slay. What action will you see, and is he still backing the police chief?
Where is your confidence level right now with the job that Chief Dotson is doing?
I'm tracking the chance for a few more storms tonight, then a big break in that oppressive humidity.
A shocking crime at a local shopping mall.
What defense did he get?
He didn't really have one.
You won't believe what officers say a man did to an unsuspecting shopper.
A St. Louis woman says her neighborhood is being treated like a landfill. Now Chris Nagus is stepping up on News 4 at 10 right now.
Live from Kmov, this is News 4 at 10.
Is there anything tangible that people can expect from your office over the next month to deal with this violence?
Yes.
Tonight, News 4 is looking for answers from St. Louis Mayor Francis Slay about what he's doing to address the drastic spike of violent crime in the city.
Right now, the city is on pace for 180 homicides. This would be the most in more than 3 decades.
That's why Corey Stark went one-on-one with Mayor Slay to find out what actions he's taking to curb the violence in St. Louis.
Well, Steve, Mayor Slay says he's troubled by the increase in violent crime. So today I went to him to get specifics about what we can expect in the city of St. Louis from his office over the next few months to address the problem.
We've done, obviously, is not enough.
Where is your confidence level right now with the job that Chief Dotson is doing?
I've got a very high level of confidence in Chief Dotson.
Mayor Slay and Chief Dotson are both pushing to add 160 officers to the force, but that plan hasn't gotten out of committee in the Board of Aldermen.
It can get done. I mean, the Board of Aldermen can do it if they decide they want to do it. We're certainly pushing, and we're doing everything we can to get it done, but it's not going to happen this year now.
Mayor Slay says his plan to address the violence is more than just adding cops. He plans to continue summer job programs for youth, implement education programs, and partner with organizations like Better Family Life.
They want to kick it up to another level. They want $500,000 to target some pocketed areas where there's a high level of risk for even more crime and more violence in the city of St. Louis.
His office is also working on stricter gun laws for the city.
We're trying to find ways that we can make possession of guns a little more difficult in St. Louis and keep them out of the hands of criminals to the extent we can under state law.
And that new gun legislation that I just mentioned, Mayor Slay says he hopes to have that in front of the Board of Aldermen after they get back from summer recess, which is early September. Mayor Slay says he's also still working on a gun docket and raising the minimum wage, which he believes will decrease the violence in this city. We're live tonight, Corey Stark, News 4.
Meanwhile, St. Louis police are unveiling new details of a joint effort with federal law enforcement to help curtail the violence. That initiative, called Mission Save, teams city police with St. Louis County, the FBI, and the DEA to work on criminal investigations. Mission Save will target violent offenders, and it will also encourage community engagement. Steve?
Well, News 4 is following breaking news out of South St. Louis. This is a live look from the scene of a shooting investigation on South Grand. We just spoke with police who tell us someone was shot during a robbery attempt at that convenience store that you're seeing. There's no word on how severe the injuries are. Of course, we'll bring you any updates as we get them. New at 10, a man is accused of choking a St. Louis police officer and kicking a police canine. Police say Tyrell Mays was found hiding in an attic of a home in North St. Louis yesterday. He was wanted on outstanding warrants. As police tried to get him out, he allegedly headbutted one officer and then choked another. When police sent a canine into the attic, Mays reportedly kicked the dog away. He was eventually taken into custody.
We are getting new information tonight. We now know that 2 people are in custody after a police chase that ended with a crash in North St. Louis. Now, since we first brought you this story as breaking news at 5, we've learned that officers were chasing that stolen silver car you saw moments ago. When it hit some spike strips, it then collided with another car, and it crashed into a light pole near Vandevenner and Bell. The person in the other car was not hurt.
Well, I've been watching closely the storms that we've been seeing over the last couple of hours. No warnings right now, and the severe thunderstorm watch for Iron and Reynolds County was canceled early. We are tracking these thunderstorms away from the region, but a few showers and an isolated rumble of thunder tracking toward the St. Louis metro right now. We've got a cold front that's dropping toward the I-70 corridor tonight, and it will pass through the area tomorrow. So the chance of a few more storms and showers as we head through midnight and then we'll see a big drop in the humidity and the temperature. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up.
New at 10, a man is accused of shooting at a driver in North St. Louis County and attacking a police officer. Officers say Daniel Jenkins opened fire on a car on Edgefield Drive in the Castle Point area. The driver was shot in the leg. Police tell News 4 that when they tracked down Jenkins, he allegedly hit an officer in the face and head. That officer has minor injuries. Tonight, a woman is recovering after a shooting outside of a Chesterfield nursing home. Officers say Robert Yancey shot his wife during an argument outside of the nursing home where she works. The woman did survive. Yancey later turned himself in to police. Jasmine?
Steve, only on 4. Fairview Heights police have arrested a man for exposing himself to a woman on the St. Clair Square parking lot. It turns out he is not the only flasher busted by police in Fairview Heights in recent days. Investigators told me today they want these men classified as sex offenders. Police say a woman was walking through the shopping mall parking lot when a man called for her to come over.
He asked for directions. That's all that he asked for.
And at that moment, Fairview Heights police say 22-year-old Matthew Freeshy exposed himself. The woman was able to take down his license plate, and Detective Brian Schreiber tells me Freeshy was located at his home in Swansea.
What defense did he give?
He didn't really have one. He said that he might have been wearing too small of shorts. That was the excuse that he gave.
It comes just days after police say a different man exposed himself at the Schnucks on Leakin Highway, and after another separate flashing incident in De Pere.
I've never seen anything like that, and you know, it's a nice park.
Detective Schreiber says his department is working to get the law changed so that misdemeanor public indecency qualifies to be registered as a sex offender.
Think it would make a big difference if they were?
I think they might think twice. You never know where it's going to lead or what their true intentions are. So we want to try and just stop it at the beginning and prevent it from getting to be something really serious.
Fairview Heights police tell me the man arrested at that Schnucks is a repeat offender who has committed indecency acts at various retailers in the area.
Tonight, the search is intensifying for the man who crept into a child's room and attacked her in Melville. Police releasing surveillance photos of the man they're looking for. They say he followed the child and her family home from the Shop and Save on Lee May Ferry Road and then broke into the house. Police say he sexually assaulted her and then threatened her life. If you can help find him, call St. Louis County Police.
We have new information tonight. News 4 is learning that police have caught the alleged gunman who shot a man outside of his South St. Louis home. 20-year-old Leandre Clark is now behind bars on multiple felony charges. This is an update to a story we first told you about last week. Officers say Clark shot that man as he was getting out of his car at his home on Keokuk. The victim was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but did survive.
Tonight, demonstrators marched in front of Belleville City Hall, upset about the possibility of taking the American flag off of police uniforms.
We first told you about this controversy last week, and tonight News 4's Matt Szczesny was at City Hall as this big issue still simmering. Matt.
Yeah, that's because this still has a lot of people in Belleville upset. And tonight, the police chief had to stand inside City Hall here to face the mayor and the Board of Aldermen to explain his side in all of this. The chief, though, first had to walk past these demonstrators who were out in support of the flag patch. Chief William Clay, however, insisted this whole thing has been blown out of proportion, and he says he never ordered the flag to be taken off the police uniforms. Rather, he says he simply wanted to try and bring the uniform more in line with other departments around the country by putting city patches on both shoulders.
Unfortunately, some of the employees within the department, they chose to lie. They chose to release misinformation to the public. They chose to tell the public that we ordered that the American flags be immediately removed from our uniforms. That would have been offensive to me.
The chief says officers here in Belleville can still wear the flag patch if they want to, and the chief pointed out that he still wears an American flag patch, an American flag pin, and an American flag tie clip on his uniform. We're live in Belleville. Matt Szczesny, News 4.
Also in Belleville tonight, some expensive upgrades to the city's sewer system. The board tonight unanimously approved to spend more than $21 million to hire a contractor for the work. This is phase 3 of that project, in which improvements have been ordered by the EPA. The sewer rates went up 2 years ago to help pay for that work.
New tonight, residents dealing with mosquito problems in Jefferson County are getting some relief. The Jefferson County Health Department plans to spray several communities that have seen an outbreak of mosquitoes. This comes after recent flooding has caused a spike in the mosquito population.
A Northside woman asking, really?
It's past the really. It's really.
She says her neighborhood was treated like a landfill. Tonight, we get involved and get results.
Also ahead on News 4 at 10, citizen security. The new stand many gun owners are taking to protect military recruiting centers. Plus,
once he was out, I was like, okay, well, I've got to push the rest of them out.
a family vehicle turns into a maternity ward. The incredible video that is now going viral when News 4 is back in 90 seconds.
You're watching News 4, watching out for you.
Tonight, Donald Trump isn't backing down from his controversial comments about Senator John McCain.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Do you agree?
Those comments came over the weekend. Since then, the GOP presidential hopeful has been getting criticism from many fellow Republicans. McCain said today that he does not believe Trump needs to apologize.
In the wake of the shooting rampage that left 4 Marines dead last week, a retired Marine is now taking security measures into his own hands. Sean Raines is now armed and standing watch outside a military recruiting office in Savannah, Georgia. And a similar scene is playing out in Alabama, where 2 men with assault rifles stood guard at a military recruiting center. 6 states have already taken measures to increase security at those recruiting facilities.
New video tonight as a Kansas woman frantically tries to break a car window to save a child who is trapped in a hot car. Witnesses say the toddler was drenched with sweat and crying as people were finally able to get her out after more than 2 minutes. The couple had left that child in the car, and they were found later in a store. They were both charged with child endangerment.
Here's an amazing story out of Texas going viral as a mother gives birth in an SUV as she's being taken to the hospital, and it's all caught on video. The Texas mother was being taken to the hospital by her husband when she went into full labor. With a GoPro camera rolling, the woman gave birth to the child in a matter of minutes. You may be wondering, why didn't Dad pull over?
For one thing, we don't have a cell phone with service, so we couldn't have called anybody if I'd pulled over. Number 2, she said she wanted me to keep driving.
I was probably freaking out way more than I should have.
Well, it's a happy ending. They're smiling now. The healthy baby boy came in, get this, at a whopping 10 pounds, 3 ounces. The video of the birth has already garnered hundreds of thousands of hits on YouTube.
News 4 investigates, uncovering scams and ripoffs, questioning government waste, watching out for you. Now, News 4's Chris Nagus.
Check this out. Giant piles of dirt mixed with all kinds of stuff you don't want in your backyard. A Northside woman asking, really? Feeling like her Northside neighborhood was being treated like a landfill, she called me for help.
It's past the really. It's really, for real, really.
Ingrid Ransom has felt voiceless since May. That's when she shot iPhone video of big dump trucks dumping load after load on a vacant lot behind her house near the corner of Moffitt and Newstead.
This is not dirt. This is concrete. This is boards. This is nails. This is a lot of stuff that shouldn't be here.
Worried about the safety of her grandson, she called the trucking company that dumped off the piles to complain. What was the name of the trucking company?
T&E Trucking.
Let me see that.
The owner of T&E Trucking watched Ingrid's video. He says it can all be explained.
What they do, they call guys like us.
Okay.
to give them free dirt.
By guys like us, he means hauling companies that get calls from demolition companies to provide backfill for big jobs. Nearly 2 months after the piles were dumped, the vacant house next to them was demolished. But the site still looked terrible, covered with dangerous debris, including huge chunks of concrete, even metal rods sticking out of the soil. Are you satisfied with the way this was done?
Not at all. Wood with nails sticking up out of it. Sometimes I do think, okay, well, we need to just find somewhere else to go. But at the end of the day, I keep going back. Why should I be inconvenienced? Why should I give in? You know, I was born and raised down here. I'm not going nowhere.
I called the owner of the demolition company, Alpha and Omega. He showed up to survey the mess and promised to clean it up. But when I went back a few days later, it was still a giant mess. That's when Alderman Sam Moore happened to roll up, accompanied by a documentary film crew from New York, who, as it turns out, was doing their own story on Moore's neighborhood cleanup efforts. Who do you think is to blame for this then?
Alpha and Omega.
Moore blamed the demolition company and demanded it get fixed.
This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally unacceptable.
Well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that's the reason why we're doing the story, is it's not acceptable. T&E sent this email admitting their driver did not follow protocol and was suspended, but they strongly denied any allegations about dumping separate rock debris on the site. Really? As you can see in our video, there are giant chunks of concrete mixed in with the dirt. Ultimately, T&E agreed to work with Alpha and Omega to clean it up. But on Friday, it was still a mess. Alderman Moore promised it would look different by today.
We got to get on them.
By this morning, voila! The uneven ruts were smoothed out, most of the debris was gone, and at least those giant pieces of concrete were nowhere to be found. Ingrid says it should have never played out the way it did, and nobody would tolerate this in their backyard.
Really?
The Forewarned Storm Team, certified St. Louis's most accurate forecast for 4 years in a row. Now, here's meteorologist Megan Danahay.
We're giving you a live look from the First Cloverleaf Bank Eye on St. Louis. Megan, it was pretty busy earlier this evening. Some severe weather in the area, and nice to see that it is quiet and calm right now.
Yeah, it's quiet. You know, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning. We had a tornado warning. We had a severe thunderstorm watch. All of that is done. Now, we still have a chance for a few showers before midnight, but we're talking about more comfortable weather in the next couple of days. Here's what's left on SkyTracker Doppler. You can see no warnings. You can see also a dying shower there north of the metro. There's not even any lightning in that anymore. You can see all the heavier lightning and big thunderstorms moving into Kentucky now. But this little dying thunderstorm was from the cold front that's dropping to the south, and that cold front will continue moving to the south as we head through the overnight hours. So a few more thunderstorms are possible. This will track towards St. Louis, Edwardsville, and then on toward Belleville and O'Fallon, Illinois, if it can hold together. But again, there's not even any lightning showing up in that right now over Jerseyville, just some moderate rainfall. Temperatures around the area have fallen back into the 70s at 74 in Litchfield, 73 in Alton. We still have 80 degrees in St. Louis, and it actually feels warmer than that. The humidity was oppressive today, and it still feels like 84 even at this late hour. It will feel better when you wake up tomorrow morning. Taking a look at that frontal boundary as it drops southward across the I-70 corridor. Can't rule out a couple of showers, maybe even a stray thunderstorm, but most of the instability in the atmosphere is gone. So the threat for severe weather is done, and the chance for storms or showers really only goes through about midnight. The frontal boundary will come through the rest of the area by about sunrise, and it should be pretty quiet toward early morning, comfortable and dry. You'll notice the lower humidity when you step out in the morning, with a north wind at about 10 miles per hour and temperatures around 71 degrees. As we head into the afternoon, you'll really notice the lower humidity. We'll have winds coming in out of the northeast at about 10 miles an hour, which is going to be pulling in drier and cooler air from the Great Lakes region. So our high temperature tomorrow will be around 84, when the normal high for this time of year is closer to 90. So a pretty comfortable day tomorrow, and that comfortable weather trend takes us into Wednesday as well. So your 4-degree guarantee for tomorrow, 84 degrees, that forecast high, hoping to add another $50 to the $700 already there for Employment Connection. Comfortable temperatures taking us into Wednesday. 83 degrees on Wednesday, 83 on Thursday, but by Thursday, the chance of rain is back in the forecast. We'll see a chance of storms continue into Friday. And then Mother Nature turns up the heat again just a little bit as we head into the weekend. Not terrible, but highs back in the low 90s. Look at that 65.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning.
That's not a typo.
That's not a typo. It's going to feel very comfortable. Next couple of days, you'll really notice that lower humidity. And we're only going to see a chance of storms tonight through midnight.
Nice break.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Megan.
Look who's back from long vacation. Good to see you, Mo.
Thank you, Steve. Long vacation for me, long afternoon for the Cards yesterday at Busch. How the pitching staff was affected after that 18-inning affair with the Mets. And the Cards look to get a boost at first base from their star prospect. More on the arrival of Stephen Piscotty. That's ahead in sports.